Morning guys. So what's the date? Saturday the 4th of April. I thought I would come and do like a chatty get ready with me. Obviously we are, well maybe not obviously, we've been in the middle, we are in the middle of a lockdown, a somewhat lockdown I think in the UK for the coronavirus. It's the second weekend into that lockdown. I've asked Holly if she minded if I went upstairs and filmed some videos. And she was like, no. She's like, can I sit down and watch TV? And I was like, absolutely, that's fine. So here I am. And I thought at the beginning of this year, I wanted to sort of start going back to like doing my old school videos anyway. Hence why I'm doing like a project pan. And it's more makeup-y based type of stuff, which is where my channel initially began. I started like falling in love with makeup and realising what makeup was and stuff like that. And yeah, I fancy doing a get ready with me. I'm about to film a project pan update, so I thought using a get ready with me with those new project pan items that I'm rolling in would be a good idea. That you would have seen that video previously to this one, but I will link it in a card on the screen for you. So, and I've also put on a fancy dress because let's face it, we're not going out anywhere. I've got nowhere to get dressed up to go to apart from the supermarket. So I've got a wardrobe full of dresses that I struggled to wear anyway. And now I'm definitely not going to have a chance to wear them. So let's just get dressed up indoors and pretend like nothing is happening. Trust me, it's good for your mental health. So, cleanser. I always try and cleanse in the morning rather than do like a full skincare routine. I try and save my skincare routine for the evening, but just to wash off the night before or the overnight build up of oils and stuff. I'm currently using the Body Shop Vitamin E Hydrating Toner. It's slightly got this sort of like gel consistency, which I didn't realise at the time, but I am really enjoying it. I find it has got a moisturising quality to it. I am looking into starting to use a thin moisturiser underneath my makeup if I need to, because for the last, I would say, couple of months my skin's been getting quite dry. I am 32 years of age now and I can tell my skin is telling me that it is as well. So I've just taken that on like a reusable cotton round. I've finally bit the bullet and purchased some of these. And well, I had purchased like 4, but obviously 4 isn't really enough to keep you going for like the full week if you're using 1 or more a day. I bought some more, and to be honest I could do with buying another packet because sometimes I only put like 2 loads of laundry on a week, just dependent on who's in the household at the time or what we've been doing in our clothes, because I don't wear a set of clothes once and then put it in the wash. I will wear a set of clothes multiple times before I feel like it needs to be washed, because it's better for the environment. It's obviously cheaper in laundry products and it makes your clothes last a lot longer. And if they're not dirty, then they don't need to be washed. Obviously underwear, but that doesn't include bras. I will wear multiple times before I feel like they need to go in the wash. So that's the face cleansed. It's lovely. I like that. So I've rolled in this NYX foundation. It's a full coverage foundation, which isn't really my jam anymore, but I'm trying to get it used up. I feel like it's slightly too pale for my skin even as we've just come out the back side of, we've come out the other side of winter into spring. And obviously the last week I've not been wearing makeup much at all. I've been sitting out in the garden just with sort of like a SPF 50 moisturiser on my face. And I feel like sometimes when I'm looking in the mirror, I've slightly started to colour already on my face. However, I'm just going to try and power on and use this up because I really don't like this style of foundation anymore. I do have some Revolution Pro foundation mixer darkening drops if I feel like it's getting to the stage where it's getting way too light for me to wear. I don't feel like I'm quite at that stage just yet. I remember pumping this foundation out on a few occasions. If I haven't used it for a couple of days, the pump gets all clogged up and you press it down and it just goes everywhere, and I was like, oh, that is not cool. So I only take one pump of it and then I try and like spread it round my face in quite thin. Also, my other idea for getting this foundation to work for me, just so I can get it used up, is if I don't really want such a full coverage, then I can mix it in with a moisturiser. The moisturiser I have at the moment, however, is too thick. So I feel like I'd have to purchase a new product, like a thinner moisturiser, to go underneath my makeup, which is something that I just said I was looking into doing anyway, to make something like a product work. So you have to buy something to make something else work, and like I don't fully agree with that, particularly with, you know, the current climate being the way it is at the moment. Can you see that's probably a little bit too pale? I feel like that's, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so foundation done, and I do feel like even my shoulders are slightly, you know, it's a different colour. But there we go. I'll put more colour in. I'll have to do some experimenting with how much. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the GRWM Meteor Storm. I've used this a lot in the past. I just wanted to have some more sort of like the pastel colours moving into the spring months. You've got like a lovely light pink and then a glittery pink there, a lovely light yellow and a glittery yellow there, and then you can deepen up the shades and make them more summery with this one, and then you can make them even deeper with like the dark blue and the dark brown there as well. So I've been absolutely craving to do a lighter coloured sort of eyeshadow look. So I've been doing purples and quite dark nudes for a long time now. So I'm just going to take that pink shade there and pop that all over my lid. Not very precise because it's not very pigmented eyeshadow, so I don't feel like I need to be particularly precise. Sort of like this pink pearlescent, iridescent-y, not really that much shade, but something. My eyes are so puffy. I've not long woken up. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So the next colour I'm going to take is the next one along, sort of like that burnt red colour, terracotta type of colour. Get me trusty Matalan card and whap that into the crease. So all into the outer corner, just there, and then run a little bit through into the crease. Holy moly, I think I just hit pan on that shade. Did not mean to do that. Well, obviously I am Project Pan and all that, but I didn't think it would be this soon into it. I haven't actually filmed the Project Pan yet because I wanted to have some makeup on my face. Okay, that's nice, that's pretty full. And then I'm just going to take that shade there, which is very nothing. It's just very, yeah, it's very nothing really. It's just sort of like a iridescent-y type of topper, just to sort of blend that out to make it a bit softer. And I actually might put some like eyebrow highlight on too. So pop that across that pink area, run it into the crease to soften that back up. Not a lot of colour comes off on this because it's gone quite like hard pan, which frustrates me greatly. Don't think there's anything coming off on that at all. I might have to get my finger in with this way. So I'm going to stick all of that iridescent colour in the corner because it's so hard pan that my brush isn't picking up on it at all. And that possibly could be because I've dipped my fingers into this in the past and the oils or whatever from my finger have mushed it all together. But I feel like it's happened with that as well. Dipping my fingers into it in the first place because that was a thing. So I've got shimmer all the way down there now. Let's just get some eyebrow highlight. That's that. So that's eyeshadow. So the mascara I'm currently using is the Kiko Volume Attraction mascara. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not the worst mascara I've ever used. It's just an okay mascara. If I cry, either organically or by chopping onions, it does go everywhere. Like it's not in any way water resistant. Always go in for a second layer. So the current eyebrow product I'm using is one from Primark for £1. It's the PS Define Brow Gel in the shade Brown. My brows are looking worse for wear now because obviously I normally go and get my brows done. Can't do that anymore. So they're definitely overdue. And I think they're going to be overdue for a long, long time. Cool. I usually mess up the eyebrows and put like eyebrow product above where my actual eyebrow hairs are. So I usually try and tidy that up with some concealer. The current one I'm using is nearly finished. I can see lots of spaces in this. This is, I can't remember, I think it's Collection Lasting Perfection one. I think all the writing's rubbed off it. Okay, so that's that. For my blush, I'm still using the GRWM blush palette, but just this on its own. I'm not mixing it up with anything else anymore. I haven't quite decided what shades I'm going to be using. So last month for the first 3 months of my project pan, I've been focusing on this shade. I might just continue to use whatever's left in this actual product rather than focus on a pan on its own. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using this shade. There might still be some purple left on my blusher brush, but we'll see. Blend that out, because it's hard to get this brush in here without mixing all that up. So this is the way I apply. Luckily, they're quite blendy. A little bit of colour back into my cheeks. My trusty highlighter that I've had since the dawn of all time, which is the Blushing Hearts Triple Bake Blusher by I Heart Makeup, which I think is part of Revolution. That's always confused me. I've been working really hard on this. Again, this has got quite a hard pan, so I have to like really shuffle my brush along the surface of this to make sure it's picking up any products. And I feel like, you know, this is quite damaging for my makeup brushes, but dedication to the cause. So that's one side, and then you've got to do it all over again. So guys, have you been using makeup more or less in project pans? If you're doing a project pan, let me know how this has affected your project pan journey. If you are doing a project pan and you are watching my project pan, then please let me know in the comments down below, because I'll come over and watch your videos. I really like watching other people's project pans. I think they are brilliant. Right, so that's my highlighter. Not that you can see because I'm filming on a phone. And then I'm gonna go for the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Istanbul. Ta-da! And that's it. Brush my hair. chatty, get ready with me. Kind of, if I was chatting, maybe I was just showing you products and putting them on my face. I can't remember. I hope this has been somewhat decent distraction for you during these tough times. Like I said, just speak to me in the comments. I'm here to distract you and I want distraction too. Happy Easter, if it's Easter when I post this, and I shall see you soon.